Elsie. If you'd have got out, that could have been quite catastrophic.
Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. Today, we're gonna explain the storyline of a 2016 fantasy and adventure movie called Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The movie begins in 1926 when a dark wizard named Grindelwald is threatening the magical community in Europe, risking a war with humankind, or so-called nomage. Since then, all wizards and witches from all around the world, including Hogwarts, have increased their security and alert. The story changes to a British man named Newt Scamander traveling from London to New York City with a magical briefcase filled with fantastical creatures. When he gets there, he switches the bag's mode so that it seems to be a typical briefcase and gets past the security check. Authorities are inspecting a destroyed building in New York in the meantime. A witness says that a bizarre, dark creature with the appearance of a blowing wind tore down the building. Soon later, a portion of the streets begin to fissure as an unknown force charges beneath them and causes the building's wall to begin to break. Back to Newt, he explores New York and comes across a lady, Mary Lou, and other Second Selemier supporters who are spreading hate news about magic and how wizards and witches could be a threat to humankind. Jacob Kowalski, a factory worker, accidentally kicks Newt's briefcase while attempting to get through the mob. The lady is drawn to this action. As they converse, Newt discovers that a magnificent creature by the name of Niffler has broken free from the briefcase. As soon as the creature enters the bank, he runs after it but eventually loses sight of it. The two finally cross paths again, and after dropping an egg, he departs from Jacob. While Newt continues to look for it, Niffler starts robbing the bank customers of their jewels and money. It turns out that Jacob is applying for a loan to build a bakery but is turned down because he has no collateral to offer. Humans now, that can produce hundreds of donuts an hour. I know, but they're nothing like what I can do. As Niffler enters the elevator, Newt notices him, but Jacob yells at him, informing him that the egg he is holding is hatching. When Newt becomes anxious, he teleports them elsewhere inside the bank. Jacob must follow Newt to the underground bunker despite his confusion. Once Newt has used his magic wand to open the vault and successfully capture Niffler, the bank guards suddenly appear, forcing Newt to use his teleportation to escape. Really? Jacob knocks Newt with the briefcase and flees as the wizard is about to obliviate him, which will wipe out his memories. Afterward, Newt is confronted by Tina, a witch who has been observing Newt in the bank and also works for the Magical Congress of the United States of America, or MACUSA. She arrests him for using magic in front of humans or nomage and brings him to MACUSA headquarters. At the same time, MACUSA President Serafina Pitquery and the others are concerned about the attack earlier, afraid that it could lead to a war between them, and Nomage, Tina, and Newt arrive at the room, but the president is not happy with her presence as she is no longer working for MACUSA as an Auror, or a dark wizard catcher. Tina then takes Newt to her old office where they are confronted by Graves. When he demands to see the briefcase, they find that it is Jacob's briefcase, which is full of pastries. When Jacob gets home, he accidentally unlocks Newt's briefcase, letting out a number of fantastical creatures. While exploring the city with Tina, Newt stumbles onto Jacob's half-wrecked room and finding him unconscious. It turns out that a murdlap bit him. He then uses magic to restore the structure. After that, they place one of the escaped monsters back into the suitcase before escorting Jacob out of the apartment. Mary Lou, on the other side, runs an orphanage while teaching the kids to be afraid of magic. She then brings several children, including emotionally damaged boy Credence, to meet Senator Henry Shaw and his father, the leader of a leading newspaper company, but they are dismissed while being insulted as a freak. Either Her story is worthless, or she's lying about the cost. Nobody gives away anything valuable for free. You're right, Mr. Shaw. What we desire is infinitely more valuable than money. Tina takes Jacob and Newt to her house. As soon as they arrive, Jacob is immediately smitten with Tina's sister, Queenie, who was able to read people's minds. Meanwhile, Credence meets Graves in private, who gives him the assignment to find the powerful child he predicted and makes a pledge to teach him magic if he succeeds. Jacob and Newt are offered a room to stay in after enjoying a romantic meal together. That evening, Jacob is invited to join Newt as he enters his magical briefcase. He uses magical herbs to heal Jacob's wound and introduces him to Frank, a Thunderbird. He admits that bringing Frank back to Arizona was the real reason he came to the country. He then shows the human the entire landscape inside the briefcase, which is dwelled by various fantastic beasts. One of them is Akame, a creature that hatched from the egg earlier. While Jacob tries to feed the creatures on himself, he stumbles onto a frigid room where he sees the shadowy Obscurus creature enclosed in a bubble. He is advised not to approach it by Newt because it is a highly deadly entity. Jacob then decides to assist Newt in finding the missing creatures, as he is the one who is most familiar with New York's locations. They happen to come upon Niffler as he attempts to pose as a sculpture inside a jewelry store as they cross the street. Newt chases after the creature throughout the store, which ends up destroying the whole store. He finally is able to capture Niffler when it tries to run away. The cops arrive, but they are distracted by a lion walking in the street, so they use this opportunity to teleport away. They spot another missing creature, Erumpet, wandering around the city, and Newt attempts to lure it with strange and silly movement. However, the beast sees Jacob and goes after him. Luckily, Newt manages to pull it back into the briefcase just before it strikes Jacob with its enormous body. Tina, who realizes the boys are missing, silently follows them and takes the briefcase with her when she has the chance. On the other side, Senator Henry Shaw is attending a formal meeting to promote himself in the upcoming U.S. presidential election when all of a sudden, an unknown dark entity enters the room and causes mayhem before snatching Henry and throwing him to the ground, murdering him instantaneously. Langdon, Henry's brother, is conscious that this is witchcraft. When Tina carries the briefcase to the Makusa headquarters, Jacob and Newt appear out of nowhere. Nobody believes Newt when he claims that an Obscurial killed Henry. After that, Graves gets 3 of them arrested and impounded the briefcase. While locked up, Newt and Tina explain that an Obscurus is an uncontrollable aggressive dark force developed in a young wizard or witch whose magic is suppressed, or called Obscurial. Newt adds that an Obscurial can't survive past the age of 10. A few moments later, Graves discovers an Obscurus inside the briefcase. Because of that, Newt is sentenced to death alongside Tina, who is accused of helping him. Newt and Tina are brought into a room where a witch extracts Tina's memories to lure her into the death pool. One of the memories is Tina attacking Mary Lou and comforting Credence. With the help of a creature, Newt succeeds in breaking free and vanquishing the witch's prison. Tina is ultimately saved by him, and he then leaves the room. Queenie releases Jacob after sensing something is amiss in the background. The 2 of them then enter a room covertly to get Newt's briefcase. Queenie advises that Tina, Newt, and Jacob enter the briefcase as the group of 4 reunites. After that, she confidently snucks them out of the headquarters. A freaked-out Credence runs into Graves once more. He exhorts him to keep searching for the Obscurial and promises that once the quest is accomplished, he will be revered among wizards forever. My boy, the sooner we find this child, the sooner you can put that pain in the past where it belongs. In the meantime, Credence discovers a toy wand in Modesty's chamber at the orphanage. Mary Lou suddenly confronts them, thinking that the wand belongs to Credence and breaking it in front of them. When Credence realizes his adoptive mother is going to beat him again, he loses control and begins viciously attacking her with the dark energy. The last missing creature, a demiguise, is invisible. Tina brings Newt to a speakeasy to meet Narlac, hoping that he can give some information. However, the goblin demands something to trade, and he wants a hand-sized botruckle named Picket resting in Newt's jacket pocket. Newt initially refuses and attempts to offer other things, but gets rejected. He then reluctantly hands over the botruckle to him, and Narlac informs him to check out a department store. Suddenly, Oris of Makusa arrives at the bar. Turns out Narlac silently tipped him off. The situation becomes chaotic, and Newt uses this opportunity to retrieve Picket, and the group escape from the speakeasy.
We need an insect. Any kind of insect and a teapot.
They head over to the department store and find Demiguise, who was babysitting another creature. As it turns out, Newt miscounted, and Akemi appears from the ceiling. Jacob and Tina are given the task of locating an insect to use as a lure to entice an Akemi into a teapot, since Akemis alter their body size to fit the available area. Jacob eventually takes a cockroach and throws it into the teapot after the bug causes some commotion inside the shop. When the Akemi notices that, it shrunk as it charged the teapot. Now that all of the lost animals have been found, Newt invites the other characters to peep inside the suitcase. When Graves gets to the orphanage, he discovers a terrified Credence. He concludes the kid he has been searching for is Modesty. Upon arrival at Credence's abandoned family home, Graves betrays Credence, saying he is unteachable and useless. Just after Graves finds Modesty, the boy's rage intensifies and is disappointed with the man. He suddenly transforms and flies away from there, leaving a trail of destruction behind him. Newt spots the Obscurial and goes after him, as he doesn't want to let Makusa kill him. Due of his ability to survive till that age, he reveals Credence is the strongest Obscurial alive. When the Obscurial tries to calm Credence down, Newt pursues him into a subterranean corridor as Tina diverts Graves' attention. When the Aurors become aware of this, they rush to the area. As Credence gradually assumes human form once more, Graves unexpectedly enters and attacks Newt repeatedly, prompting the kid to revert to his Obscurial form. After Tina enters the tunnel and is able to calm him down, the Makusa president and the Aurors appear and begin to viciously fire at him, eventually killing him. Graves then chastises Makusa for their archaic regulations and declares that he will no longer follow the rules. The president then instructs Aurors to take Graves' wand away, but Graves fights back and engages in combat with them. Graves is subdued by a wonderful beast that Newt conjures, and Tina steals his wand in the process. Newt casts Revelio on him, revealing Graves' real identity, which turns out to be Grindelwald. Makusa then arrests him. Due to the extensive destruction Credence has caused throughout the town, Newt must call upon Frank and use him to launch a memory erasing potion into the sky, converting it into rain and obliterating the whole populace. Aurors use their magic at the same moment to rebuild the devastated structure. The president acknowledges Newt's help, but she cautions him to obliterate Jacob as well because he is not an exception. Jacob sobs as he bids his pals a final farewell before walking into the storm and losing everything. Additionally, Queenie kisses him goodbye. Since then, Jacob continues his life as a factory worker when things return to normal. He is accidentally run into by Newt, who dumps a briefcase full of Akemi eggs. He departs with a note encouraging him to use the eggs as security for his ambition of starting his own bakery. Soon after, Newt leaves for London to complete The Fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them book. As he bids Tina farewell, he assures her that he will send a copy of it her way. Jacob finally succeeds in starting his own bakery at the end of the film, and he designs his loaves of bread to resemble some of the fantastical creatures he has hazy memories of. Queenie visits the shop and Jacob smiles a little when he sees her. Hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it, and feel free to share this content with your friends and family as well. And don't forget to ring the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.